So while I served, it was during the Bush era and Bush reelection and all that. And so there was hostility between Spain and America. And so every now and then we would get that type of issue happen. It's like, oh, like we would get they would fall into politics and be like, oh, what is your president doing? And like, how dare you call us this? We're a kingdom, and things like that. And I never knew what had happened, like what President Bush had said, but apparently like he had not addressed Spain correctly because Spain is a kingdom. Like since it's part of the old world, it's still considered like a kingdom type of thing. That was sort of something interesting to me. And then, of course, a lot of Spanish people didn't like the whole war in Iraq and all those things, and they would always, sort of, there was a lot of, sometimes there was a lot of hatred towards that. They're like, oh, what are you doing? And all this stuff, Americans and things like that. And sometimes they would yell Yankees, which is sort of interesting. It's like, whoa, it's an old term. But then when we meet Spaniards who had gone to New York or gone to the States just to visit, they're like, "Oh man, I love that place." Like they would say how well they were treated there and how they loved the United States and they're like, "Oh, you guys are great" and all this stuff. And it was weird contrast because it was like people who had never visited there like hated us, and then people who had visited there like something happened that they're like in love with it and like I want to go back there one day. And I always thought it was interesting because they would say New York, they were treated well. And it's like, New York doesn't tend to have the reputation of treating people well, but I guess they were treated well because they're like, well, I was in a store and somebody came up to me and they helped me out, and I was like, oh, that's great. It's like, yeah, American people are nice. So that was always that the interesting thing.